we start in English with Holger. First of all, Holger, how's the preparation going for the Australian Open?
It's going well. I'm practicing very good. Practiced a lot in the beginning of the week to try to push as much as possible, and slowing down on the hours a little bit, but still keeping high intensity. And I'm feeling good out there. Had a lot of good practice sets. Getting familiar with the heat as well. So I'm looking forward to the next weeks.
Questions? Please raise your hand and introduce yourself.
Yeah, Holger, Owen Leonard from News Corp. You're the last man to beat Novak Djokovic. What do you remember from that match, and how much confidence do you take from that?
A lot. I mean, it was a crazy match. From the, even before the match, I was super nervous, but it was my biggest finals, and to play these kind of matches against Novak, who's so experienced, was super tough. But I took the challenge and gave all I had, and obviously winning that gave a huge confidence boost. Both winning against him and in a final is even bigger. So it was a great tournament, and probably one of my best fights and best matches of my career. So I look back, and I'm still very happy about my performance.
Holger, obviously spoke to you in Adelaide only last week and about being part of that new breed. But
yeah.
Since then, you're now into the top 10, and now the expectation starts. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly been dealing with a lot of expectation all my life. Playing juniors, I was number one in under 14, 16, 18. So I was kind of used to play as, the player that in a way had to win. So, it's obviously different now, playing the big guys on the big stage, but I'm really excited about it, because all my life I've been dreaming to be at this moment where I am now, and even go further. So my job is not finished as I see it. I still have a lot I want to achieve, and I'm just super excited to go for it.
We're obviously Australian media, and we love to look ahead in the draw, as the media do, and potentially Nick Kyrgios there in round 3. I mean, what are your early thoughts on that potentially happening?
Yeah, as you say, first we got to take one match at a time. Everybody's tough, but of course it could be fun. I mean, Nick is always playing great. He's not playing like all the tournaments, but when he's playing, he's on, and he's super dangerous. So, I have to focus on each match at a time, trying to build my tennis, build my confidence, and can't predict anything. Let's see how it's going.
Would you be willing to? I mean, you've obviously had some interesting clashes with like Casper Ruud and these sorts of things in the past 12 months. I mean, Nick obviously loves to get the crowd involved and whip it into a frenzy. I imagine you're not going to back down from that, and you'll give him back as much as he gets, I guess.
I'll take the fight for sure. I'm not afraid, so I'm just going to go out there and play my tennis. But now it's just the first match I got to focus on, and but yeah, I mean, it's nice. I think it's good for the sport that we have a guy like Nick, who can cheer the crowd like he does, and I like it too. I like to cheer the crowd as well, so I don't I don't mind him doing that. I think it's fun. It's better to play with a full stadium that is loud than in front of nobody. So I see it as a positive thing.
Chris. Hey, Holger, Chris Clary, New York
Hello.
Times. How you doing? You talked a bit about how you approach the mental game in tennis, and what kind of things you've worked on through the years, and what you're working on now.
Yeah. Obviously, as we all know, mental is very important here in tennis. Got to be able to take decisions quick and be brave in important moments. And I'm working on it as I'm working on the tennis, the physicality every day. It's a part of being a tennis player, to be able to handle the emotions, the pressure, everything. And I think as I'm getting more and more experience, I'm getting better at it, to stay calm in the important moments and play my best tennis. And this is what I want to do every time, and it's tough, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. So I kind of accept it and trying to do the best I can, stay composed, stay on the path every day.
Do you do much meditation or visualization, that kind of stuff at all, or not?
I do some meditation sometimes, when I feel like it, honestly. So it's good. I think it's very good. You get in the focus, it calms you down a little bit, so it's cool.
Tom Tubbett, Tennis Canada. Holger, you come from Denmark. Are there advantages or disadvantages to coming from there in terms of growing up as a tennis player?
There's both, I should say. We're not known for tennis so much, so it's not it's not so normal to play tennis there as it is to play football or handball or stuff like that. But in the other way, it was more difficult, which makes it better, because I was forced to work harder and forced to to work in more difficult situation, and this is really helping me, like even now that I'm willing to take any challenge that comes in front of me. And I still really like my country, so I still enjoy to go back there and play tennis there, so it's cool.
Anyone else in English?
Holger, Richard Evans, The New Daily. Hi. When you lost in Adelaide last week, the next few days, I know you stayed on for about 5 days. It was super hot a few days, and I think you were putting in a lot of hours on court.
Yeah.
What were you? How did you get through the heat, and how do you feel now about playing in those sort of conditions?
Yeah, I feel good, and I didn't have the ideal preparation before Adelaide, so that was why I stayed there to practice, to push hard, and we made a program to really go full in the beginning before the Australian Open, and I did in Adelaide in the heat. A lot of hours, as you said, with different sparring partners and also some feedings and stuff. So it was tough, but I'm used to it. It's just getting used to the heat and used to move around in long time, also in the heat, because that's necessary if you want to go all the way. And I enjoy it. I'm suffering sometimes, but I enjoy it.
And you're all ready for 4 hours in 35 degrees.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I saw on Tuesday. I'm playing on Tuesday. I saw it's going to be 38 degrees, so it's going to be brutal. But I'm more and more experienced with it now, so I'm gonna look forward to it.
Last one.
You touched on earlier about some of the things you do off the court to get yourself in the best shape for on the court. We hear that you're obsessive about tennis. Your coach has talked about that.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us where that obsession comes from and what that actually means? Like, what are you doing off the court that's obsessive?
Yeah, I think it all comes from that I love tennis so much, and I watch a lot of tennis even off the court as well. Watch myself. I really enjoy it. I like to watch good tennis, like good clips with Federer, Nadal, Novak, and these guys. I enjoy it a lot, and off the court. At the other point, it's important to keep your mind a little bit off as well, not to watch tennis all the time. But I'm doing that. I have a great team around me. We can go out for dinner and stuff. So it's cool. I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Ja. Holger,
Hej.
nu har du sagt det engang, at du tager en kamp ad gangen, men det, der springer i øjnene ved den her lodtrækning, det er jo, at du kan møde Nick Kyrgios i tredje runde. Du blev spurgt lidt ind til ham før, men han er jo en person, der deler vandene meget og er en kontroversiel herre. Hvad synes du egentlig om ham, og hvordan er dit forhold til ham? Er I gode venner?
Ja, vi er gode venner. Vi skal spille en opvisningskamp, som du nok ved, her i maj i år. Det bliver rigtig sjovt. Jeg synes, han er en vanvittig god tennisspiller. Han kan slå alle på en god dag. Han har alt, hvad han skal bruge til at spille godt, ikke? Og specielt her i Australien, hvor han har publikum med sig og alting, så kan det blive rigtig svært for ligegyldigt, hvem han møder. Men mest af alt også, som jeg sagde, jeg tager ikke engang med kampen. Jeg har Filip Krajinovic i første runde, som kommer til at give den maksgas også, ligesom jeg gør, så vi må se, hvad der sker. Men jeg ser meget frem til turneringen.
Og i forhold til Filip Krajinovic, hvad tænker du så om ham? Han er jo en erfaren herre, men har han nogle svagheder eller noget, du kigger specifikt efter? Hvad tænker du om det matchup generelt?
Jeg har det fint. Altså, han er en god spiller, erfaren, som du siger. Spillet mange turneringer. Jeg ser på det som en meget normal kamp, altså, som jeg møder en anden spiller også. Han er en god spiller, han har sin styrke, han har sine svagheder. Jeg skal spille mine styrker til hans svagheder. Og give den maks gas, være fokuseret, og så må vi se, hvad der sker.
Man kunne læse i forskellige medier i går, at du har købt en ny lejlighed i København, og der er jo ingen hemmelighed, at din økonomi har fået et boost, især i løbet af det sidste år. Hvordan er det lige pludselig at have så mange penge mellem hænderne og kunne lave de her investeringer?
Det er ikke noget, jeg tænker så meget over, hvis jeg skal være helt ærlig. Det giver selvfølgelig en frihed, men mest af alt så står jeg her kun for tennisen. Jeg står her ikke for pengenes skyld. Pengene, det er mere sekundært for mig. Jeg fokuserer mest på at gå ind og give den maks gas og få min drømme til at gå i opfyldelse.
I forhold til lejligheden, hvad skal den så bruges til?
Til at være der. Til at slappe af. Til at have et sted, når jeg er tilbage i Danmark. Jeg bor i Monaco nu. Har base der og træner mest på Moto2, men jeg kan rigtig godt lide Danmark. Jeg kan godt lide at komme tilbage. Min familie bor der stadigvæk. Se min søster, se min mor og far. Så jeg synes, det er hyggeligt at kunne komme tilbage til Danmark.
Din opstart, den har været med lidt bump på vejen. Du havde noget rygproblem, og der var noget med varmen.
Ja.
Hvordan er status på de ting nu?
God, rigtig god. Også som jeg sagde før, jeg havde ikke den perfekte preparation til Adelaide, fordi min ryg den satte sig inden nytår, så jeg kunne ikke træne optimalt, som jeg gerne ville. Men fra Adelaide, fra jeg tabte til Nishioka, så fik jeg trænet rigtig godt, rigtig hårdt. Har fået planlagt træningen godt, føler mig totalt klar nu, så det er jeg meget glad for.
Tak.
Så lidt.